Why, hello, hello, hello. It's coffee time. Who, what, who watches the Oscars? No one. No one watches the Oscars. Not anymore. But, um, but yeah, if you did watch the Oscars, um, let me get the right picture up for a start. Oh, this one. That's better. Very unprofessional. That's the big story. It's Will Smith hitting Chris Rock across the movie. It's just what do you expect? The Oscars is very, very. It's a strange thing. They always give awards to films that are not very good. They never give the awards to the people I want to win. So I don't think I've really been interested in the Oscars for I don't know how long. But I know they tried to make it a bit more inclusive and that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it should be based on merit, you know. Um, anyway, this is where women miss out because there should be like a best male director, best female director, and then women will be represented there, but they just have a best director section. But we're talking about Chris Rock being assaulted, physically attacked by Will Smith. He got jiggy with it. Indeed, he did. He got a bit fresh. Yeah. Oh wow. So yeah, Chris Rock makes a joke. He makes a joke. He was kind of roasting some of the people that like they do. Again, it's a popular form that Ricky Gervais has made almost a trend now, where you go on and you roast. You pick a target and you make fun of the audience. And Chris Rock was doing this, and he mentions Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, because she has her head shaved. He says, "I'm looking forward to GI Jane 2." Because again, Demi Moore shaved their head for that role. Blah de blah de blah. Jada Pinkett Smith's face is like thunder. Will Smith's laughing, then clocks his missus, and then stops laughing. Now, apparently, people had heard this joke during the warm-up. I think even the Smiths may have heard the joke because they go through the set, and nobody batted an eyelid at it. They didn't say to him, "Stop. This is terrible." But now people are offended because Jada Pinkett Smith suffers with alopecia, apparently. I mean, I think she's had her head shaved for quite, many years. I think, again, a lot of black actresses have their hair cropped because they wear wigs and that in various roles. I guess it's just easier. Again, it's just a thing. Look, as someone who's follically challenged, we get used to jokes being levelled at us. We get used to it. You develop a thick skin. But a lot of people say, oh, she has alopecia. And Chris Rock was wrong. I don't think he was. I think it's a fair joke. I think it's a funny joke. I think from his perspective, he's been on Jada Pinkett Smith's podcast. I think he feels that he's probably friendly enough with them to make that joke. Apparently there's been beef with him and Will Smith in the past. You can't get too wound up about comedians making near-the-knuckle jokes unless you're a small child. And Will Smith proved that he lacks the grace and class of somebody, of an adult. I mean, again, if he wanted to be clever, he could have stood up and made a witty riposte, at Chris Rock. He could have gone up there and, and made a joke and deflated it and, pulled the crowd round and, pointed it out rather than slapping him down. But instead he slaps him. And again, Chris Rock reacts by making it part of the act. I mean, he's again pretty quick on his feet. A little bit discombobulated, you would be. A grown man has just come up and slapped you in the face. Again, Chris Rock, when he's making the joke, it seems like he's comfortable with it. He said, "This isn't a bad joke. This is one of the good jokes." But this is, again, I think, again, it kind of reflects the world, the very reactionary world we live in. I think it goes through like social media and everything. Everyone just reacts. No one's got any class anymore. No one can just, I don't know, ride with it. Again, it would have been interesting if, like I say, Ricky Gervais would have been up there. Would Chris Rock have done the same? Would he have gone up and hit Ricky Gervais? If it had been, I don't know, the races had been reversed, if Chris Rock had targeted a white actress and a white husband had gone up and hit him, I wonder how that would have gone down, And a few minutes afterwards, Will Smith wins, Best Actor Oscar, and he's seen dancing the night away without a care in the world. It's a very we live in very strange times, and you hear people excusing it and justifying it. He physically assaulted someone for making a joke. That's the bottom line. He hit someone. Mind you, it was a bit of a girly slap. It wasn't a punch, was it? But imagine if he'd have punched him and Chris Rock had gone down and cracked his head open and died. Imagine that. Or he could have done it with a slap. He could have been, knocked backwards. One punch kill. That could have happened. It's just the bizarre world we live in. Now, was Smith under the influence? I don't know. He looked a little bit. Again, his speech was a bit rambling as well. I don't think he's necessarily, what they say, Spinal Tap, heavily medicated. Maybe he was heavily medicated. I don't know. But it's a strange world we live in that, a comedian can get. Who'd want to host that? Who'd want to host the Oscars now? But I'm hoping that Chris Rock will make more light of this, and maybe he'll start making jokes about the Smiths' lavender marriage, which is a bit of an open secret, in Hollywood, and also, Jada Pinkett Smith's dalliances with Scientology. I mean, there's always been rumours about Will Smith as well being a Scientologist. Maybe Chris Rock will disappear. But wow, what a strange time we live in. And if you think that that's right, the right reaction, that's justifiable, you're wrong. You're wrong. And you're what's wrong with the world at the moment. No one should do that. Not because of a joke. My goodness. But as I pulled it up prematurely before, the reactions of the other actors and actresses was quite the thing. You've got a mixture of reactions. I think The Rock there, he's like, what? Meryl Streep looks like someone's poured ice water down her back. But the best reaction is this little chap here who's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I mean, he is the star reaction. And there's Mel Gibson thinking, damn, wish I could get away with that. So yeah, who'd want to be presenting the Oscars? Bonkers, isn't it? Isn't it crazy? What a weird world we live in. I'm sure. Chris Rock isn't pressing any charges. He has every right to. I'm sure Will Smith will be just lauded for it. Nothing would change. But this is where we've come as a species. This is where we've come. That, someone can be physically assaulted and it can be live broadcast around the world and people will justify it and clap it. And wow, that's where we are. That's where we are. Anyway, I don't know if there'll be anyone in the live room. Let's have a little looky. Brandon's in. He says, if he was at the BAFTAs, would he have slapped Rebel Wilson? I think we all wanted to slap Rebel Wilson, didn't we? I didn't really watch. I just kind of dipped in, and I know her skits weren't really. I normally like her. She's kind of, she amuses me in a, funny actress kind of way. But I think sometimes when you're trying to be funny, like constantly funny, on those presenting gigs, it can be quite strained. If you do the quip every so often, I think it tends to work better and lands better. But when you're constantly stretching, I think that's where it failed her. But yeah, crikey. Well, this is the thing. There are so many scenarios where you could replay that. Again, I'm going to use Ricky Gervais because he's done was it the Emmys a few times, and you know, and said really really near the knuckle things, and people have laughed. It's that idea of the comedy roast, and I think. And I'm one of those people, you know, I don't think there should be any boundaries in comedy. You know, you can always, you know, look away or not. You know, there are plenty of comedians out there I don't like. I just don't watch them. You know, I find their humour distasteful, and you know, that's where I'm coming from. I make off-color jokes and suffer for it. So again, the whole point of comedy is to be near the knuckle. It is to make you go, you know. Comedy has a dark heart to it, you know, and I think people forget that. And we're all obsessed with being, you know, virtuous. Oh, I'm more saintly than you, you know, and pointing at each other's flaws. We've forgotten what it is to be human, and to laugh at ourselves is one of the biggest things that we can learn to be an adult human. And we're seeing a lack of that. Everything's very serious, very serious, very, very, very serious and worthy. Floyd says, "Hi, Darren. I think Will was out of order. It's a good job Ricky Gervais wasn't there." Exactly. I'd like to have seen that. It would have been handbags at dawn. Padge says Will Smith should have been arrested for assault. Well, that's what he did. He went up there and assaulted. You know, I mean, I'm a big fan of Chris Rock anyway. I think he's a very funny, you know, comedian. He's one of my favourite. Again, it's the Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock. You know, I love that kind of seam of comedy. It just, you know, the more shocking the better. I like that. But then, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say, you know, Rock is shocking. You know, not like Murphy or Pryor. I mean, yeah, he dances around sensitive topics and that. I think Chappelle's kind of taken up that mantle, you know, and I think he deliberately is provocative now. Whereas, you know, Chris Rock, I wouldn't necessarily put him down as a shocking comedian. But you know, I like the guy. I think he's very funny. He's one of my you know, American comedy idols. Well, I was just thinking of Bernie Mac, and I missed that one. Miss him as well. He was funny. You know, there's a good seam of black comedy in stand-up comics out there, and we don't get to see them that much over here. We have our black stand-up comics, and they're nowhere near as good, and that's a shame because again, they've got to dance around the subjects. You know, James says that was embarrassing. Smith was laughing at the joke until he felt better and pretended to be offended. Well, that's the thing. If you see him, he's laughing, and it's like, oh, he clocked the misses. You know, it's like, yeah. Passage is not acceptable. I agree. Comedy is meant to be offensive. That's what comedy is. You know, it can be many different things. It can be inane and inoffensive, but the best comedy, you know, prods at your humanity and makes you go to dark places. Again, I've always said that, you know, a lot of the shock comedy comes from, you know, the working men's clubs and, you know, working class people having a pretty crap week, you know, working all week, and on the Friday night, the weekend, going out and just laughing their problems away with a drink inside them. And again, a lot of the middle classes, the virtue signalers of this world want to take that away. They want to derail that culture, and you know, just don't partake. It's really easy. Don't partake. There are things in this world I do not understand, I do not appreciate, but I would never ever stop other people from enjoying them. I might say you're an idiot for enjoying that. That's my opinion. You don't have to, you know, you can get upset with me, but I don't know. I think we're too willing to stop people enjoying themselves, and that's, you know, that's the world we live in. John says, Norman says, comedy is the best tool for passive-aggressive assholes. That's probably the dumbest thing I've read ever. Do you practice, or is it a natural skill being that dumb? Padge says we need Bill Hicks. I was never a big fan of Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks is a bit of a misogynist, you know. I was never a big fan of him. I know a lot of people, a lot of people went on him on about him at the time, and I just found some of his stuff, you know, not to my again. But then I didn't seek him out. I watched a couple of these things, and I thought, it's not for me. And when he died, I was sad because we need the comics and that, But I'm not necessarily a Bill Hicks fan. I think it was more of a Dennis Leary. Again, I think they fell out because he thought, Bill Hicks thought that Dennis Leary stole his act, and there's a little bit of an overlap there, But yeah, I don't know what they'd make of people, or even crikey, God, there's so many comics that you could bring out, so many controversial comedians who've passed that you could, just someone like George Carlin, who's gone. He used to prod and poke, but yeah, I'm boggled at the world we live in. But we're all supposed to be kind. Yeah, hashtag be kind, except for when I'm slapping you, But yeah, it's a strange world. Well, my thoughts on Lee Evans. He retired, didn't he, to spend more time with his missus, which is admirable. He made his millions. Yeah, he's all right. He used to end his set on with Bohemian Rhapsody, didn't he, on Queen? So that's got to be good. I didn't mind. I don't know about doing a whole show. I find a whole show of his is a bit exhausting. I like him when he does like little segments, when he does little bits. But yeah, he was all right. He was okay. I liked his acting. I thought he was a good actor. I think he should have done more. Norman said, "I guess that went over your head." Well, I'm an idiot, so it's very hard to understand your intent. Just reading it out. I'm not very good with that, and sometimes I misunderstand people because I need visual clues and people's intonation of their voices. I'm not very good with people, so I don't always understand what they mean, and I apologise for that. Anyway, you better watch out, Norman, because I might come over and slap you. All right, and on that, I think I better go. Ta-ta.